Hey everybody, it's Sarah Fallaw here from DataPoints. Wanted to just wish you guys a happy holiday weekend, whether you're celebrating Easter, you're celebrating Passover. Lots of holidays going on here at the beginning of April. I wanted to share with you a couple of things related to the changes from the CFP board. I'm sure you've seen that. If you are a CFP, you've seen those changes related to the knowledge areas. There are a couple of articles. I was able to contribute to one of those articles on financialplanning.com. But I wanted to go through the topics and just kind of give you an overview, kind of give you my insight into what's going on. I've talked to some financial psychologists as well about this, and just kind of give you a little bit of insight related to what those topics mean and kind of what they mean for you and the work that you do with clients. So I've pulled them up here and made them really, really large. Hopefully you're able to see that. But the first one under that psychology of financial planning is really what we focus on here at DataPoints, which was understanding the unique personality of your clients. Now they've designated that as attitudes, values, and biases. I think that last portion, if you've ever heard me talk about cognitive biases related to investing, is very difficult to tease apart. It's very difficult to, for example, predict which cognitive bias you're going to use on a frequent basis. And then it's even more difficult to kind of change that cognitive bias. There can be changes to your behavior and changes to your outlook and things like that that will make that kind of the outcome of those biases different. But that one I thought that was pretty interesting. But I'm going to lump together attitudes and values and hope that they meant personality here. Personality is a very broad topic, if you will, or broad area that really has to do with all of those things that make us who we are. So again, our attitudes, values, certainly our career interests and things like that as well. So obviously that's a huge component of the work that you do, is understanding your client's unique personality and then helping them achieve their goals based on that. And certainly that's what we're here at DataPoints to do as well, is to help you understand and help your client understand their characteristics in order for them to avoid some of those biases or avoid making certain financial decisions that could be over the long term detrimental to them. That's in contrast to behavioral finance, which is a little more of how psychology impacts markets. So I think that is more of a maybe more of a macro type topic to think about related to financial planning. I won't spend too much time on it. I will say that this often gets confused with things like personality. So really here with behavioral finance, what we're talking about is overall investor psychology impacting what's happening either in the markets. Again, you can think of GameStop, like everyone's getting really excited about it, what happens, that kind of thing. Sources of money conflict, certainly for those of you who have worked with couples or work with families, you recognize that especially when each member of a household holds a different opinion, attitude, or value related to finances, that can be where conflict comes into play. There's certainly a lot of different sources. I like how they're kind of broadening the way that we think about money conflict. Where does that money conflict come from? That's one of the reasons why using open-ended questions with your clients is so important. Principles of counseling, I think that for, anyone that's working with individuals, understanding some of the general principles related to how you interact with individuals, particularly when they're sharing or disclosing information that, is maybe unusual for, they're not talking about finances, they're talking about something that happened years ago within their family or something like that. Being prepared for those kinds of conversations and being able to either steer them in a direction that's more beneficial for that client, or recognizing when, again, it's time to bring in someone that can perhaps deal with a particular issue from the client in the past, or maybe even something related to their personality and things like that. General principles of effective communication. So again, if you think about a good leader within an organization would also need to know general principles of effective communication. Those include things like asking open-ended questions when you might be inclined to want a yes or no answer, allowing the client to speak and have kind of the open room, and I don't mean literal open room, but the freedom to share with you information and things like that. There is a book, again, I think I've mentioned this to you guys before, from John Grable that talks about communication techniques for financial planners, and I think the CFP Board actually put that out as well. And then the last piece is crisis events. Obviously, severe consequences, I would say even, and I hope that this is a part of what they're going to do, but including life events that are significant. So, not only, again, depending on how they've defined crisis, we'll have to wait and see. But, certainly any major life event could be a source of potential issues related to financial planning, primarily because it impacts the way in which we view money. So again, if I've gone through a significant job loss, the way that I view my income and the way that I view the wealth that I've built thus far may be very different than the day before. And likewise with other significant life changes as well. So that's, again, my take on those topic areas related to the psychology of financial planning. A lot of it starts with that H65, understanding your client's, I will call it unique personality, understanding your personality as well. How do you tend to work with individuals, again, particularly related to some of these other areas? That's certainly important as well. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to shoot us an email at research@datapoints.com. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. We are working to change over a lot of the CFP CE credit sessions that we already do to align with this, or rather be designated as part of this component. And so you'll see those changes soon. So again, thank you for working with us. Thanks for the work you do. Hopefully this was helpful, even if this doesn't necessarily pertain to you. We hope that you found it interesting and useful as well. So enjoy the weekend. Thank you for working with us.